Good morning, chat. Which account was it that had... Okay.
Battery at 90%.
Alright, perfect. Good morning, chat. How is everybody? Do I have them on me or did I put them away finally? Looks like I put them away. Oh, I don't have. That's what I forgot to open. I forgot to open my chat bot. Yeah, so we haven't found any. Where do I find the empty clusters, I wonder? Excuse me. These are found at Deep Sea Site 5 or Airship 16. Hello. I don't have either of those unlocked yet. Okay. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? I can hear you. Can you not hear me? I'll just send you a message. Can you hear me yet? Oh, okay. Being annoying? Weird.
Anything must sure always the doc fun. You know ba-
Yay.
behold your retainer is now select if that is that all.
Okay. So how's mid go?
Chloe, you want a new, what were we?
Okay.
Ne-
Probably not. I don't know where you were in the story, so I could not tell
if
you.
ever Rory will I I am bad. If that is all,
So I'm just gonna buy white maids up to 50.
Kupcha says why, I've served Rayo since she was a Rayo Senna says your command of white magic has advanced considerably, Haven. Yes, the time draws near, let us begin our preparations for the quieting. At its roots, the ritual Hugh says, happy face.
Okay. too far ahead. I can't cast. I can't kill you if you're that one that far ahead, buddy. Oh no. What are you? Swiftcast. Do I not have Swiftcast?
Fate says Hugh. Hugh says BRT. Fate says OEBR.
We don't have our tank. Why are you pushing? God, this dungeon is a disaster this morning. Watch my stream and you can see. Well, no, our problem is our red mage, 100%. Because I'm trying to chase after them, and they're not even attacking. They're wall to walling everything that is without actually wall to walling it. Because Bella here decided to go through. Probably. Oh yeah, you can see. Oh no, it was Bella that was upset. Never mind. Yep, I do. I wish I had Medica too, though. Why the hell did you do that?
Faith says ops.
Should I? Oh, okay.
Tia. Fate says, do you have Medica too? Fate says, oh. Hugh says TYFP. Rayo Senna says your command of white magic has advanced considerably, Haven. Yes, the time draws near. Let us begin our preparations for the quieting. At its roots, the ritual is no different from the acts of pacifying that you have already performed. The power so immense that a mage might be easily overwhelmed by the sheer force of its will. To prevent such a catastrophic fate, our tradition decrees that a special garb must be donned before performing the ritual. I trust you know the story of Ataukant Rare among the Patjal. He left the forest behind to travel the realm, healing the land and its people. As tribute to his wanderlust, after he passed, his ashes were divided among several urns, which were in turn carried to the far reaches of the realm, and it was there, in the distant lands that the great mage so loved, that his ashes were buried, and monuments erected in his honor. You are to go on a pilgrimage to these sites, and receive the blessings of your forebear. Only then will the garb I've gifted you be imbued with his divine powers. Mind you, you will find that these places are not as welcoming as they might have been in Master Atao's time. The first site is on the shores of western Lanasi, in a place now feared as the Serpent's Tongue, home to a band of vile pirates. The next is to be found in Mordhona, in that overgrown labyrinth of roots and vines so affectionately known as the Tangle. I do hope that Master Atao's ashes have survived those most oppressive environs. The third site I would have you visit is perhaps the most treacherous location of the lot, Robin's Push in northern Then Allen, a stone's throw from an imperial stronghold. I urge you to exercise extreme caution.
Seven million people in London, eh? Never guessed that. Uh-oh. That's not good. That sucks. How much time is left? A minute and a half. Yeah, but then whatever's is there somebody fighting there? He's trying to do the same quest I am.
The gravestone is inscribed with an epitaph paying tribute to the
Oops. Let's jump to the tango now. Oh. Now, Roman's Puss. Where is that? And then after this, another A rank. I can't move. Damn it, got paralyzed in the AoE. I can't move outside that AoE, that's gonna really hurt. Yay! That's 2 A ranks I've killed now. We have a person named Wednesday that's right here.
Cup. Rayo Senna says your safe return here tends me, Haven. I can feel newfound power emanating from the garb I gave you. I trust that this stage of your pilgrimage was a success. Rayo Senna says now that you have traveled the realm and seen the land as Master Ataua did, I would share with you the rest of his tale. The histories claim that Ataua Kant disappeared in the mountains of Ogomora, the Kobold motherland. This is not untrue, but there is more to the story. When the great mage did not return from his journey, one of his most devoted students went in search of him. As the legends have it, the young mage single-handedly fought off veritable legions of kobolds while scouring the mountains for any sign of his master. Sadly, it was as all had feared. Though the young mage eventually found his master, the great Ataua Kant lived no more. As if the death of the man were not enough, Thyrus, Ataua Kant's great staff, a mighty relic passed down by his ancestors, was lost to the shadows. Undeterred, the young mage fought off the kobold hordes to carry his master's remains back to the surface. A ceremony was held to honor Master Ataua's life and deeds, and urns housing his ashes were carried off to the far-reaching frontiers of which he was so fond in his living years. All the urns, that is, except for one. Yes, though the precise location is known to only a few, Master Ataua also rests closer to home. Here in the Twelves Wood, not far from Proud Creek, you will find yet another monument to the great mage. Take with you this habit, and pay your respects as before. If you keep pure intentions in your heart and in your mind, then the healer's robe shall be your reward.
Oh god. Oh god. I'm gonna have to go through, I think, and kill all of them. Where's a safe spot I can land? Inside the fake. Um... Okay, that thing's not gonna attack me. But this one will. Where am I going? This way. Okay, this way. Oh. Uh-oh. I've got both of them locked on me now.
The grave has been defiled, and its contents appear to have been stolen. The power of Ataukant has been lost here.
Bet you it was probably stolen by all those guys I just fight through.
Reo Senna says the urn holding Master Atau's ashes was stolen. Grave robbery is a damnable enough crime in itself, but what manner of scoundrel would dare defile the resting place of a Padjal? Rest assured that I will investigate this heinous crime immediately. In the meantime, your pilgrimage demands you travel to one last destination. This final leg of your journey will take you to the very place that Master Atau drew his last breath, Ogomora, the homeland of the kobolds in outer Lanacy. It is there, in plain sight of the kobold dig, that the student of whom I spoke did erect a monument to his The gravestone is inscribed with an epitaph paying tribute to the life and deeds of the great mage, Thavnair. Rayo Senna says welcome back, Haven. The journey was not an easy one, I trust, and yet I knew that Master Atawa would guide you safely back to me. In your travels, you have received the blessings of our great ancestor. And yet, this was not the sole reason I sent you on this pilgrimage. Perhaps, yes, Haven. As she who would inherit Master Atawa's legacy, I wanted you to truly walk in his footsteps. To see the realm, in both its beauty and its suffering, with your own eyes, as the great mage did so long ago. And yet it is strange, no. A pirate's lair, a rampant jungle, mountains of fire, of all the hostile environs to which you journeyed, the single grave despoiled was that which rests right here in our forest home. I suspect this was the handiwork of no witless grave robber, but rather someone who knew all too well the value of that which was buried within. We must uncover the truth behind this crime and return Master Atawa's ashes to their rightful resting place, and quickly. You are with me, yes.
Hey, I'm learning holy now.
Rayo Senna says grave robbery is a loathsome enough crime in its own right, but to
Well,
defile the final resting
once I
place
finish
of
this
a
quest.
paschal. Though I would like to think that the elementals have already delivered due justice to the villain, we must take no chances in allowing an escape. Whilst you were away, I put my best Muggle on the hunt, searching for any sign of the culprit or the stolen remains. I dare say he should have a clue or two for us by now. At least, he better, if he values that little ball on his head. Suffice it to say, though many forest-born think of the Muggles as blessed, my own personal experience has found them to be more touched than anything else. Kupcha says, oh, mistress. You shouldn't say such hurtful things. It's most unbecoming of a seed seer, Kyopo. But fine, don't listen to me. Why, I told her just the other day that this is why she remains, shall we say, unspoken for. She might not react to that phrasing at present, but her ire was indeed fierce, Kyopo. Of course, you have not come to discuss my mistress's temper, but the grave robbery. A most unforgivable act of villainy, if I do say so myself, which I believe I just did, Kyopo. I am pleased to say, and you will be pleased to hear, that the culprit did not escape Muggle eyes, Kyopo. Well, my eyes, he did escape. My associate Puno Poki, however, claims to have seen a band of ruffians skulking off in the direction of Red Belly Hive with various and sundry stolen goods in tow, among them, a rather conspicuously elaborate urn. I do not know what the Red Bellies are up to, but surely it can be nothing good. Please, Haven, go quickly. If the urn is lost, I fear Rayo's ire will be the least of my worries, Kyopo.
You know, I kind of wish that I lived in a place where you could see stars like this. Nope. Uh, there's a tree in the way. How do we get inside this damn tree? Do we have to fly? Do I have to literally fly into this tree? You had to have had fright for that.
Pano says those thieving crooks. Those crooked thieves? Defiling the resting place of a Padgel? Why, no amount of thrashings, lashings, and bashings would suffice. Kupapo. Why, if it isn't the lovely white mage Kupcha Kupa spoke of. And not a moment too soon. Why, I was just about to swoop in and give them their comeuppance myself. Now that you're here, however, I believe I'll just sit back and enjoy the show. Kupo. Those vile red bellies tossed the urn onto some ramshackle wagon, a most ignoble fate for a Padgely legend, I do declare, and carted it northwise toward their hive. You will retrieve it safe and sound, won't you, Kupo?
Is there any type of achievement if you get everything done in AOL? Oh.
Kupchas. Reo Senna says thank you, Haven. The remains of our exalted forebear hauled away by brigands like a sack of loot. Is that what our land has come to? There can be no doubt. It is the Great One's fury that brings such chaos to the Twelves Wood. The situation is grave indeed. I shall have our wood whalers deal with the red bellies. We have more important matters before us. And yet, I fear we have hit another snag. Though the urn has been safely recovered, the harsh treatment it suffered at the hands of the bandits has taken its toll. Uprooted from its proper resting place, the power of Ataukant once housed within
Okay,
has
that's
grown
a
dim.
cool mount. Did it tell me what mount that was? Nope.
I shall return the urn to its rightful home. Perhaps, Over time,
It looks like
it will return to
Alexander.
its former state. And yet I fear time is a luxury we do not have. We must explore other means to enchant the ritual garb. I will consult with my brother to see what knowledge he might have to offer. In the meantime, I would ask that you master your newfound skills as best you can. There is no telling when the Great One's fury might grow too strong to contain, we must ever be prepared.
Action learned. Holy. This is why I was gonna do my hot. Uh, wait. Okay, so what was the last invention? Is there not a did I miss a holy two? Is there not a holy two? There is no holy. What the hell? Oh, okay. So now that that's done, let's go do this one. Yeah. Wait. Oops.
Airship says. Kozakura says. On behalf of the Shizenkai, Haven, I thank you for. As I am sure you are aware, the southern portion of the yard under Master Tsuranoki's supervision is coming along quite well. Moreover, construction of the buildings adjacent to my office, several of these buildings have been designated for the production of traditional Doman arts and crafts, including paper. You may recall the gentleman we met in the stalls the other day, Master Araragi? He will be over. Come to think of it, perhaps you should go and introduce yourself to him. I know not if you have spoken with him since, but given the circumstances of that first meeting, he may not. Araragi says Haven,
What?
was it? Forgive me. During our brief encounter at the I am Araragi.
Did you say you?
A paper
Did
maker
you
by
tell I had
trade.
a cat?
'Tis all I have ever known.
Oh,
Kozakura says
I
greetings,
was like, what?
Master Araragi. The construction of your paper Araragi says more or less, though it has not escaped my notice that progress on the ironmonger's work.
Well, this cutscene's on.
Kozakura
I'll
says
be right back.
1,000 pardons, Master Araragi. You may be assured that the Shizenkai has not chosen to favor it. Araragi says I know that full well, child. Save your apologies. I but give voice. Kozakura says if Master Tsuranoki has wronged or offended you in some fashion, perhaps the Shizenkai. Araragi says no, there is no need for anything so dramatic. We have a long and storied history, he and I. Though our paths diverged, and yet, every time we cross paths, I cannot help but see him as the reckless apprentice he once was. He brings, but never mind that. You wished to know of our progress, yes. As you can see, all is on schedule. Though it will be some time before we can begin producing paper as before, rest assured that the day will come before you know it, and the quality will surpass all expectations. For centuries, Doman paper has been coveted the world over, and with good reason. The fibers of the kozo, a variety of your western mulberry I believe, and the waters of the one river combine to create a product like each sheet is produced one at a time with a technique unchanged since antiquity. Though relatively quick, the process takes years to master. Yet the effort, Doman paper was prized for both its durability and its beauty, so much so that merchants would bicker and squabble and strive to outbid one another, so certain they were that they could still turn a profit. Indeed, it was arguably our most successful. Kami willing, it will be again. Which reminds me, Kozakura, my dear, I trust you have given thought to whom we might sell our paper. While I am aware of our agreements with the Zala traders and the Confederacy, I doubt very much that these parties will put much store by our product. Kozakura says we have made inquiries, but have yet to receive. But you needn't worry about such things. We will see to the mercantile matters. You and your workers should devote your energies to building the mill. Araragi says have no doubt that we are. I mislike losing to. The road ahead is long,
You gonna go take a nap?
but I pray
Okay.
you will
Are
continue
you gonna
to
leave
walk
my
it with
stream
us.
open or?
Construction
Okay.
of the yard is proceeding apace, and Kozakura is confident that the Shizenkai will
Alright.
have found a wholesale
Bye.
trader willing to purchase paper by the time Araragi's mill is ready to begin production. As you continue to contribute to the Shizenkai and the reconstruction effort, in what other ways might the Doman Enclave grow and change?
Oh, that's what I forgot to open up. I'm not a. What job class I'm gonna do? Run through this through. Dancer. Do I want to do? No, it's a lion trade. I'd rather do Alexander. Never mind. You're good. What are you? You're not Astro. Now back to Dancer. Although, wait, what level is that? So my summoner was only 74. I'm tired of. Oh, yeah, I don't want the bird. I'll take the I'll take the lizard. Hmm.
Radiant says, do you have business?
Okay.
Estony. Watchful says, heading to Meghatuta, are you? In that case, please follow this hallway to my right and go through the door at the top of the stairs. You'll emerge at the entrance to the airship landing, where another sentry should be on hand to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the steps to either side of me, you'll find the workshops of Rubita Fibers. Though you're free to observe the artisans, take care not to lose your way.
I want to go this way.
Vigilant says, if you are here for an airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. Estonine says, so the state of alert is still in effect. Perhaps it's for the best. That aside, we're not here for an airship, we have business at Meghatuta. Vigilant says, oh, in that case, permit me to direct you. From here it's quite simple, really. Ascend these steps, and then continue straight ahead and across the bridge. You cannot miss it.
Okay, that's good to know. I forgot to attune to airship landing. Oops. Oh, that's not how I came in.
Meghaduta says greetings and welcome to Meghaduta. May I inquire after your business? Estanine says we are members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, come at the invitation of His Excellency. Meghaduta says of course. We have been expecting you. I will show you into the audience chamber, if you would please follow me.
Hello, Mr. Giant Dragon.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent, in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
Valiant scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice.
3 viewers. Oh, hi, viewers.
I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzatan.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the high crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzatan will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
Oh my god, that looks painful.
'Tis of no moment, a mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Albeit brief, my involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydaelyn to whom we must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. 'Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsormr did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydralyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Prithee, a moment. There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee. I knew it to be so. From man and dragon alike have I learned of thine exploits. 'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsormr's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
Elisai says so. What were you and Werther talking about? Nothing. Very well, if you say so. The others have gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up to them. Alphinaud says the attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let us return to the mulberry orchard. Alisai says from here, we're supposed to follow the path left and past the mulberries. Where the street turns, enter the door straight ahead and descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Rad's Adhan. The architecture and decorations make it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where this door takes us. Alphinaud says, and here is the Etherite Plaza. So far so good, and there isn't much further to go. I suspect the others have already collected the warding scales. Come, let us join them. According to the message on the base, Elisai says we're last, of course, but at least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations. Of course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Please, I must speak with you.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
Yet who hath truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true? Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Look at that! Its color is completely changed.
What do you have there? unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions. Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities. That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense! You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Shall we depart for Charlian then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
Kryl says it's good to be back, and with the fruit of our labors safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As then Cred suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Ajika says welcome back, Haven. Kryl has apprised me of your recent accomplishments. What an amazing feat to eliminate a tower, and pave the way to deal with the rest. While it isn't much, I've changed your sheets and plumped up your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone, be it penning a thesis or defeating deiform entities. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now?
Take heart and protect them well.
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Kryl, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was.
Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done.
If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer.
I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes? Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat-Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed. And in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Tloforoi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion. They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh.
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnair has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable. Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you. Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully
I need a...
But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more, and then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead. So I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn. Burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth, much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
Oh, it doesn't work. Okay.
Kryl says, oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope? I was about to make my way to the studium, as it happens. I wanted to try and speak with Scholarch Montacane and thank him for coming to our rescue in the rostra. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Thavnair. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Wishtala and the others, I thought now the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphinaud can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to Phenomenon. Jiraha says, considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studium for a time. Kryl says that might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Elisai says heading out for a stroll. The Skolarch himself was here? In that case, what are we waiting for? Alphinaud says I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Elisai says, Alphinaud of all people worrying over his reputation. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go.
Wait, I'll just transfer to the studium. Or maybe not. Oh yeah.
Kryl says here it is, phenomenon. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here. While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices. Alphinaud says as the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of etherological phenomena, hence, though with ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th astral era, phenomenon was decreed complete and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in etherology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other. Elisai says, Charlayan's foremost education. Kryl says you always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Elisai says indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech. Such is his undying love, he was in top form back then. Youngest to enter the studium, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and etherology, undisputed champion of. Kryl says hold on. You both joined the studium at the same age, yes. And from where I. Elisai says nice of you to say, but Alphinaud actually entered half a year before me. Nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors. And I am certainly not the student. In all respects have I ever been in his shadow. If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphinaud Leveler began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphinaud, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Kryl says well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Skolarch Montacane. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Excitable says that was Alphinaud Leveler, wasn't it? The Alphinaud Leveler.
Yes,
and he's with his sister and Master Baldician's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing, an event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Excitable says, oh, sorry, you said you're looking for the Skull Arch. Yes. Knowing him, he could be anywhere, but Miss Aliapo should have a better idea.
Where are we going? This way.
Kiss says, are you lost? Wander in off, wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. Oh, how silly of me, an orientation is in order. Ahem. Let me start with a question, what is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's what we deal in here at Searcher's Mead. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send a gleaner. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Pesa this, tongue of Giganto add that, it's enough to make your hair stand on end. Which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. So what you're telling me is, you're not a gleaner. Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're looking for a skull arch? I'm afraid we don't have any of those in. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. Kiss says go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your in the time it's taken me to tell you all of this, the Skull Arch has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. Rory. Sure. All. The doc. Fine, for now. You. Bad. If that. Is that.
Oh, right there.
Level-headed says yes, the Skull Arch was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor. Perhaps to one of the auditoriums.
Let's go this way. Level 82, really? What is my highest 80 or my lowest 82? Paladin.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the forum. Why, you fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Montoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
Okay, I've got about 15 minutes left.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Oops.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third? Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The seventh Umbral Calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
Check something on my phone.
Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Too far.
You have been granted the run of Phenomenon. If you are game, Ki Aliapo would put your artisanry to
Okay.
Kryl says, well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the forum's true motives, and the mysteries of life itself, for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I've a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way, you could better acquaint yourself with Ki Aliapo as the Scholarch suggested, while I share our findings with Riha.
Alright, that being said, guys, I hope everybody has a great day. We will see you tomorrow.